100% into the prize pool. So as the season progresses, hopefully we can have some rich, mysterious benefactors.
Love rich, mysterious benefactors. They're the best kind of benefactor.
Yeah, and we're gonna start the VOD with you saying that, just out of context completely.
Tier list of benefactors. A, rich, mysterious. S tier would be sugar daddies, I guess.
I guess. It starts with an S, right?
Dire team ban.
Yes.
As we've got some bans, so the Timbersaw going to be banned out first, maybe in a bit of a response to Cakes. He played it pretty well in game number 1. It's a hero I'd say he's pretty known for, at least in the North American scene.
Yeah, I mean, he had an excellent game 1, honestly. It was very, very dominant. I mean, played solid in that 1v1 lane. You wouldn't expect Timbersaw to really kill Bounty Hunter there, and he didn't. But then when he rotated out, he would just racked up the kills. He was the highest net worth for a very long time. Rocketed towards Bloodstone, and when a Timbersaw gets a super early Bloodstone like that, the game does get pretty hard. Just honestly because of the respawn time. Like when you know Timber's going to be back in the fight doing that insane burst damage in mere seconds, even that alone is just such a damper on trying to do anything with your team.
Indeed, and even though eHug didn't struggle shutting down the Ember Spirit at all, they're just going to go ahead and ban it out. They don't want to play against it. It's still pretty annoying to deal with. As they take out the Visage, which... Oh, Railgun's the one getting replaced here. I was gonna say, he might have had something going on in real life. We saw him AFK like in the trees for 2 minutes, and the bird control was pretty lackluster. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but it looks like he got replaced here by Met coming in to the action.
Yeah. But yeah, they banned out the Ember Spirit. They did have to contort a little bit, like they did an aggressive tri-lane that maybe they weren't initially anticipating on doing. They probably were initially planning to just run the tri-lane safe and the Timbersaw off lane, but they were like, damn, we really got to make sure we shut down this Ember Spirit. They did so successfully. They had a little bit of trouble, but mostly did it how you'd expect. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they want to have to do that 2 games in a row. So they'll just go for banning that out, as so many teams are. And that frees up space because, of course, last game they banned Invoker. This game Invoker comes through and is first picked by Vas'Avi.
Yeah, so we're likely to see the Quas Wex, but it doesn't completely rule out, you know, there's still the old school, or what is now old school, going for the Midas, and then Quas Exord as, well, support already, or maybe an offlaner in the Nyx Assassin, well equipped to deal with Invoker, that semi-carry intelligence hero. The mana burn gonna hurt, and of course Shadow Demon picked up with, hopefully, a lineup he can synergize with a little more this game.
Yeah, when you've got these intelligence-based semi-carries on the opposing team like Invoker, Nyx Assassin becomes a hero who normally you'd say doesn't scale that great into late game because he's no longer able to frag people. But having that 4-second cooldown mana burn that's going to be chunking away 500, 600 damage and mana pop, that can be extremely powerful late game. So they'll be happy to take up this Nyx. They'll be generally happy with just the versatile hero of the Shadow Demon. Again, I'd keep an eye out. Last game, I feel like Vas'Avi almost walked into a little bit of a trap with their Shadow Demon pick, where it didn't really synergize all that well with anything else they were running. But eHug is still pretty early in the draft here. There's plenty of time to round this out with other picks.
Like the Disruptor, nice. Picking that up second. I mean, still a good hero. I don't see it sending anybody back. Maybe Nyx Assassin if he's trying to get a Vendetta Strike or Impale and they have a sentry down and they see him, they can just glimpse him back. But I think Disruptor is a strong pick overall, especially now with that ultimate, the radius increased, and then of course the potential, the threat of him picking up an Aghanim Scepter.
Yep, the Aghanim Scepter upgrade for the ultimate is incredible. I mean, AoE Doom is not something to be underestimated. Yeah, Disruptor, one of basically the 6.80 class of level-dependent supports that have really just taken over this patch. AA, Dazzle, Disruptor, really the top 3 in that class. And yeah, I think he's a hero who does a tremendous amount. He's got 5-man potential as early as level 6. He's able to, of course, screw up combat math with his reverse Nature's Prophet via the glimpse.
Definitely.
Yeah, he's a good hero.
Yeah, he really does throw off people's calculations, their positioning, what they can get away with. Even at the highest level, you'll see pros make mistakes, be where they shouldn't have been because of a Disruptor, and it's obviously a little easier for us as observers and broadcasters to see this positioning, but you don't think about it sometimes with that Disruptor.
No, I mean, and I think the static field is also just an enormous ability. Static storm, I should say. When you land that on a 3-4 people, it becomes pretty easy for you to win the ensuing team fight, just because of the damage and the silence and the overall power of it. So we'll have to see what happens in the second phase, because both teams actually are pretty open-ended lineups. I would say that for Vas'Avi, when you have Disruptor in a tri-lane, that tri-lane does become weaker. That is something you have to calculate into your account. You can't pick a carry who's going to be totally helpless in the lane as well. And you probably need your other support to be a little stronger in that early laning phase. Someone with more, something like a CM or those other heroes who bring a lot to the table early.
Yeah, CM, definitely. What was that post on the... I spent a lot of time on r/Dota2 today at work because I was really bored. And there was a neat graph about supports and how much damage they can output. And essentially... Crystal Maiden, as if you didn't already know, she can deal a ton of damage. She peaks at level 2. It's all downhill from there. So a sad existence unless you get lucky with those freezing field rampages. But a good pickup, maybe even something like a Sand King with his recent buff. The Blink Dagger mana boots, or lack of mana boots required now, which is nice. Good level 1 stun, good damage with the Disruptor. I don't know, we'll see what they want to do.
Sure. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of ways that they can go. If they do pick a Sand King, I mean, the great thing of Sand King, of course, is that he does have a pretty solid stun from level 1. The downside is that stun has a effective range of about 2. So in that case... Okay, so they have a Naga Siren. Naga Siren's is a hero who, unlike that, has a very long range disable that she could use in the form of the net, the Naga Siren and Snare. She can be run in any position. You can run her mid if you want. You can run her carry. You can run her as a support. You even used to see teams running her off lane, although I haven't seen it lately. But the hero is just very, very strong overall. Scales great at all stages of the game. I mean, I feel like everything that should be said about Naga Siren's already been said. The hero's been top tier for now 2.5 years.
10 seconds.
Thanks, Miracle, for bringing it back.
Yeah.
As well, you talked pretty extensively in Game 1 about Shadow Demon heroes with illusions. Shadow Demon is going to do pretty well to get illusions of that Naga Siren up. They're going to be relatively tanky if this goes late. They could have a Radiance as well if this goes late.
Yep. Or things like Butterfly, Heart. Yeah, no, this is a bonanza for Shadow Demon to create illusions of. And of course, you can create illusions off of illusions, so you don't have to have the Naga to be there to make those, unlike, say, Morphling.
Yeah. And we see the Jakiro picked up here fourth. I don't know if we even mentioned the Puck, but Puck, he's in the mid lane a lot. Big team fight control, hard to kill, he's elusive, but I'm more interested about the Jakiro here from I'm a Sheep Sucks, and I'm going to be completely honest, I expect him to not get Dual Breath and max out Liquid Fire and Ice Path this game, as Earthshaker gets picked up fourth.
Yeah, Earthshaker picked up for Vas'Avi. We talked about this hero, I mean, this is another... very solid early laner. We talked about how when you pick Disruptor, you have to make sure that your lane is going to be okay with a hero who really doesn't do much for the first 2-3 levels. And Earthshaker Naga Siren certainly ensures that. Fissure is an amazing spell right from level 1, as you pointed out in the last game. Naga Siren, a carry that when you run her as the carry in your tri-lane, she's still quite able to fend for herself early on. Poor base damage, but spells are great.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and we've got this potential here. A little bit of a wombo combo from Vas'Avi. Naga Siren with a sleep, maybe Invoker catches a bunch in a tornado, the sleep into a static storm, and an Echo Slam, all from the Earthshaker. It's going to do a lot as, well, maybe someone who doesn't care as much about the sleep as long as he's ulted. Juggernaut picked up here fifth. It's also going to help with the push, and I really expect Jakiro to go for points in Living Fire right now. As Nature's Prophet banned out, Doom banned out by Vas'Avi. As any thoughts on the fifth pick?
Yeah, they could go for... I hate to say this because I hate this hero, but Darkseer would fit pretty well here. Batrider's okay too. Especially when you see the Juggernaut pick, you can just sort of, hey, you can jump in, take Jigglebilly out of the fight. And then honestly, Team eHug's lineup here, if it doesn't have Jug, really don't deal much in the way of damage, do they? So I think that's what Vas'Avi is thinking here when they take the Batrider. Hey, if we nullify the Juggernaut, how do they exactly win teamfights against us?
Yeah, that's true. It's going to take away a lot of their teamfight potential. My question for Juggernaut is, will Jigglebilly build an armlet? He seems to build it on just about everybody when I see him play.
He builds armlet Juggernaut? Interesting.
I mean, He's have you seen his videos from the Han days?
Yeah, I've seen a few. And I've certainly seen the IXDL1 rank 1 open player video from Dota as well. So, but I have not seen Armlet Juggernaut. But I'd like to see it, I guess, just to see what
I don't know. He probably won't. But I'm trying to think of the example. What did he do? Build like Armlet on Centaur, a farming Centaur, I think, when Centaur got added. Because Jugabilly before this was playing for Mike Chan Dota, which anyone watching that has watched CEVO before probably recognizes that team. That'll actually be at LAN ETS, but anyways, we'll see. Jugabilly probably playing serious since he's been recruited to eHug, but he can get pretty trolly with his decisions. Pandago, though, leading the charge here on the Shadow Demon. Jugabilly behind him on the Juggernaut. I'm a Sheep sucks. Ice Path, Fire, or Liquid Fire, that's what I'm saying here. On the Jakiro. Ryu Boru's in the mid lane on that puck, and then up top we've got Cakes on the Nyx Assassin.
And looking up towards Vas'Avi, it's going to be Lycus, who was the Ember Spirit last game. This time he's on the Naga Siren, rocking that stylish Outcast Slytherin Exile set. He's going to be supported by Met, taking the place of Railgun as their 6th man. This time he's playing the Earthshaker. Raya Noob is on the Disruptor. In the middle it'll be Scar on the Invoker, and then the offlane will be piloted up by Carson on the Bat Rider. Looks like, yeah, he's just gone Boots first, going to start offlane. With this build, I don't expect him to go jungle yet. He may, of course, go into the jungle later, especially if they stack camps for him to get that fast Blink Dagger, because I really do think a very fast Blink Dagger on Bat Rider this game could be very game-changing if they can just take Juggernaut out of fights again and again.
Well, if he plays this game anything like he played that first game on the Bounty Hunter, he should have it up relatively soon. I'm a little worried that these supports are going to be under a lot of pressure and may not have time to stack anything for him, though.
Yeah, they might have to just stay in the lane to keep the tri-lane going, and you're entirely right, they may not have time to do any stacking. I mean, we'll see. Disruptor in the lane doesn't do anything, as we said, so he might do it anyway, just to, to have something to do.
Yeah, that's true. He's already pulling. You've got the Earthshaker. As long as he can throw the blocks, there's really not much else going to be required. However, if he decides to maybe miss one of those blocks a little bit, put Lycus on the other side on accident, then you could find yourself in some trouble. Because, I mean, that's a lane combo that's pretty strong right there. The Earthshaker as well as the Juggernaut. Just the ability to block off the exit and then spin to win. If he messes up, he's going to, again, set up a hero on the side of eHug.
Absolutely.
Oh, top. We missed some action there. There's a big dive going on. Apologies for that. Cakes will live. No first blood gold given for that, but, experience.
No XP either.
Oh, there's no XP for that?
No, all he gets is the, Oh, no, he does get XP, I'm sorry. He should get AoE XP just for the guy dying in range.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm lagging a bit. Yeah, no, I mean, he dove really hard. Sometimes that's very smart as Bat Rider, especially early on against Nyx Assassin when you know that he's not going to be super leveled to spike Carapace for you for a very long time, etc. And just the tower damage ends up bedeviling him a little bit. And now by the time he gets back to the lane, it's like an entire wave of creeps has passed by, and you see the Nyx Assassin being level 4. Lane's going to get pretty hard.
Yeah, it's about like a little more than a level behind now because of that, so that's not going to help his early Blink Dagger timing. As Lycus, he's going to throw out the net, initiating onto Pandago. Here goes the block. It's going to lock Lycus in. Defensive disruption. They're turning it around. This will be the actual first blood. Lycus goes down. 400 gold over to Jugabilly. Pandago, will he live? He's going to salve up. Dodge. Nicely done. Not going to be able to grab him. Soul Catcher lands onto Met. Everything now going completely wrong for them in this bottom lane. Ice Path goes out. And the Liquid Fire is there, but not even going to need to use it. Might go for more. It's a double kill first blood for the Jugabilly.
Yeah, lane really not quite strong enough to withstand the... It seemed like they might get the kill, but then, of course, the defensive disruption was well-timed from Pandago onto himself, and Lycus ends up going down, and the Earthshaker. I mean, that's a very bad start for this lane. They're going to have to really hunker down and not try to go for any more kills like that, because the harassment also doesn't favor them, simply because Imashi keeps walking up and just using Liquid Fire, which is excellent harassment ability. 0 mana to do amazing damage.
Yeah, I think it's actually way better than Dual Breath. I claimed to have invented that the last time I saw I'm a Sheep Sucks do this, and I'll stick by that. But, I mean, let's be real, Boblet invented it as Mate in trouble. Could go down, but there's no ranged attack, so he's going to salve back up. Lycus, again, it could be in trouble Jugabilly, he's got a Thunder Strike on him. Not really too worried about it. Thinking he can get one more attack here or a poison onto Ryan. That should be enough to bring him down. It is. It's Pandago picking up a kill there on the Shadow Demon.
With the plays from the Shadow Demon. Excellent, excellent kill there. Nice landing the 2 Shadow Poisons right at the end just to pick off. And that's the regen story, basically. They're down to 5 tangos and that's it. They've used all their salves, they've used all their support tangos. Just to try to stay alive. And actually, Disruptor has rotated top. So he's like, well, I'm certainly not doing anything down here, so peace.
Yep. I mean, the lane's fairly defensive. I was surprised that Vas'Avi was trying to take to the aggressive, trying to get that first blood. Really backfired for them, but up top now this rotation could catch Cakes off guard. Impale going to land on Ryan Noob's Disruptor. Cakes should be able to get back to the tower. There is no lasso. He's only level 5. There's a glimpse back, though. Batrider's maybe chasing a little too far, because Cakes can just turn it around. Napalm's actually going to run. Nope, no, it's not. There's a 3-stack. Having trouble turning around. Does have Spike Carapace. Has an Impale, even. He's going to miss it, actually, and will die
Ouch.
to the Firefly. So a little awkward there. Jugabilly TP'd. Maybe it would have been better to just let Cakes die, but who knows? Maybe Jakiro or Pandago can pick up some farm in this bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, certainly if the Impale had ended up landing, the Juggernaut would have at least participated in a kill, maybe even tried to move on to the Disruptor. So it's a shame, of course, that it didn't work out, but I don't know. I like Jugabilly's aggressive play here. He took an early rank in the crit, the Blade Dance, which of course has a pretty good damage on it when you get that crit. So yeah, I mean, it didn't quite work out, but they'll be happy. I mean, they're doing great in all the lanes. They won that bottom lane. The mid lane is going in Ryu's favor. He's just sort of outlast hitting Scar consistently. You can see Scar is only 13 for 3. Ryu is 26 for 7.
Yeah, well, Scar is going Quas Wax, so it's going to lower his base damage. But he's got EMP, he's got a bit of harass. He can maybe try to just force Ryu Boars out of lane and then catch up, but he's going to mistakenly, well, pretend we didn't see it, but he did just cold snap a creep there. Maybe he's just cold snapping for last hits, though. I think, okay, I take that back. He could just be cold snapping for last hits.
His damage isn't that bad. He's got 68 damage, and Ryu only has 73. The difference is not big, because he has that Blades of Attack.
Yeah, that is true. I wonder, I didn't quite see what he started with. I'd assume he started with a Null Talisman and then got pulled some regen, but...
Yes, certainly. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely hard early for Invoker, no doubt about it. And we see Disruptor actually is just back bottom now, so he did participate in 1 kill, so a useful rotation. He's level 3, so, I mean, not great, but not a total disaster yet, at least.
Well, I'm surprised they're going to keep Cakes down here in the bottom lane. He is at level 6, so you would think you'd want this Nyx Assassin roaming around, getting even more kills. Instead, they leave Jugabilly up top, which this matchup doesn't really favor him all that much with the slow coming out from the Napalm stacks.
Yeah, Juggernaut versus Batrider, not a known winning matchup for Juggernaut, but for what it's worth, he did use his last mana for this healing cart and only just now got up to 75, so I don't know. We could see him eventually leave and rotate back with the Nyx Assassin. It depends. It's not like he's died. The lane's been pretty much pushed under the tower, so he's fairly safe, can continue farming.
Alright, here comes the Smoke Ink into the mid lane here for Scar. They're going to help him out. Ryu Boris could be in some trouble. He goes back to his side of the river. Can they glimpse him back? They do, but where is he? Camera control slacking right there. Oops.
Well, they did kill him. So the Invoker didn't get the last hit. I believe a tower got it, but they got the assist gold there. Unfortunately, the trade is Puck for Naga, which, when Naga's your hard carry, is not actually all that favorable. Good timing by eHug. They're like, oh, you're taking a storm? Fine, we'll kill your Naga.
Yeah, definitely something to always be on the lookout for. Yeah, but they see the supports rotate away, which is the important part, and then they jump on that opportunity immediately to kill Lycus. That's his second death this game. He's got a bottle on this Naga Siren, a Quelling Blade, and a Stout Shield with boots. That's it. Not a whole lot to speak of. He's got 22 CS, which no one's farming incredibly well. Jugabilly at the most with 38 here, but Cakes in the bottom lane could be in some trouble. The Ice Path to zone out a couple. Nice from Met to try to zone off Cakes, but he's level 6. He's going to pop up that Vendetta. There are sentries down in the lane. 2 sentries, actually. A little awkward there. Sheep is going to drop on the Jakiro. Everybody getting very low. Jugabilly running in. Has no mana for his Omni Slash. He's about 100 short, but I don't think it's really going to matter. He's going to chase people down with that Blade Dance. 1 more or 2 more attacks. He gets a crit there. Stunned up a little bit. Can he get anything else? If he can wand an ultimate, he's got it. And he's going to use it there. Bounces to the creep, though. Still gets him. It's a triple kill for Jugabilly as he lives with 2 HP. 2 HP.
let's also note that Nick somehow ended up trading with the Batrider too. So
got it. Carson pointed it out.
And the Midas
mid lane. Right, Boris. He saw that the tornado was used. I think EMP got used. They were also fighting in the mid lane while the bottom engagement was going down. And Roddy Boris, with those spells on cooldown, he knows he can go in and get that kill with Dream Coil.
For sure, and especially because, of course, he maxed that Waning Rift first, which against a caster mid is, yeah, I mean, lockdown Invoker for three effective seconds in which Invoker can't use any of his amazing Quaswex response spells like Tornado, like EMP or Cold Snap, and you can probably get that kill if, of course, you have Dream Coil and a little bit more burst. So smart play by Ryu, securing his advantage in this mid lane, now 20 last hits as well as getting that solo kill on Invoker, putting him a full level ahead. Puck is doing quite well for himself, and I mean, can't say enough about Juggernaut, who's now 5-0-1 with the early Midas.
Next up, Armlet.
Next up, Armlet Town, obviously. Interesting, by the way, that VA, I mean, at least they got the Nyx kill, considering they spent 3 Sentry Wards.
Yeah, obviously these ones weren't quite in sync, but, you know, they're trying to get the kill. If they got the kill, it was almost worth it if they could have won the rest of the engagement. But here comes Nyx Assassin Cakes behind the tower right now, terrorizing Met, bringing him down to about a quarter, maybe a third of his total HP, and Cakes now trying to run away. Gotta watch out for that glimpse, though.
He certainly does. Well, he gets fissured as well.
They're gonna glimpse back Jigglebilly, as the Fissure's gonna block off Scar. No Force Staff yet, so he cannot continue to chase.
The fact is, yeah, actually, Carson gets caught out by Ryoboros again, and Ryoboros has been a big X factor in both of these games. I mean, he's just really rampaging. They can't control his positioning. He's got these mobile heroes both times. First the Storm Spirit, now the Puck, and they can't stop him. I mean, they get a kill on him every so often, but he still rules the map. Sheep, however, this is just
he's a pretty ballsy support these last couple games.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, for sure, he's been very, very aggressive. Doing a lot of harassment damage. Like, he frankly did a crap ton of damage to the tower just because
Jakiro murders towers.
Yeah, he really does. Unfortunately, he also sometimes gets murdered in turn, but...
Yeah, that is true. Liquid Fire. You feel very strong with that ability. Liquid Courage, even.
Liquid Courage. Nice Flame Break by Carson, but can they do anything with it? Glimpse?
Nice disruption there defensively. It's just delaying the inevitable, though. Pandago should go down here, unless Cakes is going to have something to say about it. No. In the fire with the Napalm. And actually, well, there's Met with a nice Fissure there to stop Cakes, but an even better 4-man into the Macro Pyre from Jakiro. Going to kill everybody. Jigglebilly with the ultimate onto 3 of them. Still the level 1 ultimate, only 3 bounces, but they turn it around. Ryu Boris with a double kill there as the sleep from Lycus to get out the last 2 remaining troops, Carson and Lycus. Do they have a TP? They don't. Jigglebilly just taking the tower. It's like it don't matter. They've dropped the Dream Coil onto Carson. Carson will go down as they're going to look for Lycus. Lycus still nestled back in the trees. Triple kill for Ryu Boris. Orb coming in. They know he's way back here. Jigglebilly has found him out. It's going to be a complete team wipe. Ultra kill.
An ultra kill for the Puck, and Puck is not a hero you want to give ultra kills to because it opens up all sorts of nastiness like Dagon, like Veil of Discord, and all of a sudden Puck can burst your entire team. And of course Blink Dagger is the first thing that he builds. He's got the full blink off of that. 12 minutes, treads Blink, null, and 500 gold, 6-1. That ultra kill is going to result in a very, very, very happy Fairy Dragon. Oh man, and a regen too? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and the regen on the way out.
Jesus. Oh wow. Yep.
Alright, the moment of truth pretty soon here. We're going to figure out what Jigglebilly is actually going to decide to go for. We see him at about 6.4k on the net worth. I'm not expecting a serious item, is all I'm saying.
Alright. You think they're so far ahead that they're just going to clown around. Yeah, alright, fair enough.
It's Jigglebilly,
Jug
man.
can build all sorts of stuff.
That is true. I mean, you could argue that anything would really be good on Jug.
Atos,
I'm thinking maybe Aghanim Scepter, to be honest.
That's not a joke item. Lycus is going to get picked off with a nice Waning Rift from Ryu. Of course, they also saw Lycus use the Song of the Siren in the last engagement. So, because he's only level 7, which I want to repeat, the Naga Siren is level 7 against a level 12 Puck, he has that extremely long 3-minute Song of the Siren cooldown, and they could just abuse that.
Looks like they tried to kill Cakes in the mid lane. It didn't really work out. He's got no mana because, you know, EMP was used. So,
But he's going to get most of it back because, of course, they're multi-bottling. They've got a bottle on Puck and a bottle on the Nyx Assassin. Whereas VA actually have a bottle on Naga, which hasn't helped him much. It's sort of just been a 650 gold drain.
Yeah, I was really surprised to see that he even bought that.
Just thought that he needed the sustainability and the ability to spam spells, but Ryu's going to take a solo tower up here. That's just proof. How often do you see Puck acting as a pushing hero, but he's just so well leveled that his auto attack is very respectable. And here comes the Dagon.
Yeah, it looks like that's what it's going to be. I mean, if you looked up when Puck should buy a Dagon in the dictionary or on Google, you would probably find a replay of a game similar to this. When you're snowballing, when you're getting kills early, that's when you should get Dagon. You should never upgrade it to Dagon 5, because then you will probably throw the game, but, you know.
Will you be bringing a copy of this dictionary to the...
No,
PTS?
it's a pretty advanced dictionary for looking up like that, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. Pandago is just
heavy.
everywhere, too. His presence in this game is very good. He's only been part of 6 kills, but they're all pretty critical. And he's been there where it counts, especially for that Naga Siren kill just now. You now have up 1 position Naga who's 0 and 6. And, like, honestly, when that's your fate, I see a GG potentially being pretty
Wow,
soon.
another kill. I'm not even looking now. Jigabilly is going for a Battle Fury, by the way.
Alrighty then.
Which I would never recommend.
I don't know if I'd never recommend it. I think it's a little bit underrated. But still, the Battle Fury makes no difference in this game. They're just tearing
Exactly.
apart the EDA.
Looks like Scar will go down here in the mid lane confrontation. Somebody got glimpsed back. I'm not exactly sure who it was. Lycus in some trouble. He's going to pop out the sleep as a result. Here comes Batrider trying to set things up. Maybe this is the first Wombo combo, but Ryan Noob on the Disruptor, not even level 6. Carson throws out the lasso. That will be the death of I'm a Sheep. Cake continuing to fight up against Ryan Noob on the backside of things. Ultimate from Jigabilly. The Omni Slash will take out the Batrider. Now Cake's running into the trees. Ryu Boros is godlike, by the way. It looks like he killed the Naga Siren on the north side of the fight, if we can call it that. Met now in trouble. Worth it times 2. And then the GG comes out here.
Yeah, very crisp, 2 crisp, solid victories for eHug. Really not feeling as if they were ever really concerned about Vas'Avi, and honestly, just from the tier of the team that they're fighting against, I don't think Vas'Avi should feel bad about the result of this game. eHug are an excellent team. They played well. The draft for Vas'Avi, I thought Game 2 was okay. Game 1, it was a little bit questionable. Yes, their try line didn't really work, but in the end, eHug just using laning superiority and good roaming, rotations, and kills from Ryu to dominate both games.
Yeah, I think Game 1 was more of, hey, let's pick Ember Spirit. Maybe we can catch eHug off guard. This hero's been getting banned a lot. I don't know. Sure. Although, eHug is the team that... They did lose to, what was it, Whitebeard from Denial's 84-minute triple Rapier Ember Spirit, so I think they maybe prepared after that.
Sure. They were like,
anyways, a pretty quick, decisive 2-0 for eHug. Pretty expected, but... You know, Vas'Avi, definitely a quality team, should do well in CEVO-Main. Probably going to see them in the playoffs. And with that, that's all we got for tonight. I'm Healy Umbrella. You can follow me on Twitter at Healy Umbrella, and